Good evening, Lake Orion. Well, it's a bright, beautiful, sunny day, 70 degrees out. I'm your host, and I am a great man.
That's a lie.
No. Yes, indeed. This is Between Taorminas here on ON TV. I'm your host, Anthony Taormina. I'm here with my fellow cohorts who claim that they're better men, but they're not exactly.
It's true.
I'm here with my brother, Sammy. Hi.
You know what? The Dallas Stars in the playoffs. It makes me happy.
So are the Colorado
watch your
Avalanche.
mouth.
Yeah, you watch your mouth, Spoon. And we got Ian Weatherspoon.
Shut up. Let's talk sports.
Now you're being bad.
Hey, this
Now you're
isn't
being
Dallas
bad.
Public Television, all right?
Hey, this is Dallas. Hey,
This
happy
is
hour.
not Dallas
Bob Bridges
Public
knows
Television.
Wow.
Bob Bridges is not here right now.
that.
all right?
You are aware that you're
You're
getting
lucky.
Tim McGraw's I Like It, I Love It.
That song is banned for 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
For 2 weeks.
Okay.
Is it 6 weeks or 2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay, so let's
be a
talk
long
about
series.
let's go to college basketball. Let's start off. Both Michigan and Michigan State both got manhandled by Texas Tech's defense. Michigan in the Sweet 16, Michigan State in the Final Four. Let's talk about Texas Tech's defense and what happened in both those games. Let's start with Michigan State in the Final Four. Michigan State had just won an emotional game against Duke. Going in the Final Four, lots of momentum, lots of confidence. Texas Tech kind of was a little bit under the radar, even though they gave Duke a really competitive game in the regular season.
That was early, too.
Yes, it was early. And they were improved, and they became one of the better defensive teams in the NCAA. Can we talk about, was this more about Texas Tech or was this more about Michigan State?
I think this was Texas Tech because their defense, they like to change. They change the matchups. They're going to change ball screens. They change assignments. This was all about Texas Tech and that game with Michigan State. I thought personally that Texas Tech really, defensively, they're in your face. I mean, they're like that prototypical team that you love to attack. They attack you defensively. They love to. In the Michigan State game, they threw Michigan State out of sync, and then in the game against Michigan, they really threw them out of sync. But I think Texas Tech's defense had a lot to do with what happened in both those games.
I think having
Gonzaga too.
a very limited Nick Ward really hurt in this game because they couldn't get inside with the ball, and their shots weren't falling from outside. So I think you got to credit Texas Tech.
Yeah, got to.
You got to credit them for shutting them down. But Nick Ward, had he not gotten injured or not re-injured, any of those things, if he was on Saturday night, I think it would have been a much different game. And when you don't make your free throws, how do you expect to win a ball game?
That's true.
But Texas Tech, very impressive defensively. They were all over their man, no matter what.
They didn't give him an inch to breathe.
From half court on, basically.
Basically half court. They didn't even give him an inch to breathe.
It's pretty crazy.
And I think that's credit to their coach. I think Chris Beard's their coach.
Mm-hmm.
He did a really good job game planning for that game. Nothing you could say. I mean, I think Texas Tech won the game. Michigan State did not lose that game.
Do you guys think that, who do you think wins the NCAA championship, Texas Tech or Virginia?
I think it's Tech.
I like Texas Tech. I mean, I think that their defense is going to really hound Virginia. Virginia is probably the most luckiest team to be alive in this tournament because considering
Wait, the same team that lost UMBC.
It's the same team
Correct.
that lost to the University of Maryland, Baltimore County. If you look at that game and that replay, I don't know if we had the replay of that, but it's clearly a double dribble there, and that led to the foul against Auburn. I mean, Auburn has every right to be very upset. I mean, but if the officials don't call it double dribble, they call it double dribble. Auburn's in the national championship game playing Texas Tech.
Right.
What about you, Spoon?
You know, it's tough. This is going to be a very low-scoring game, Virginia versus Texas Tech, two of the best defensive teams in the nation.
Defense wins championships.
I think Tech wins, but I could see Virginia winning because I think Texas Tech hit a lot of shots they were lucky to hit against Michigan State. And I don't see Mooney replicating
South
his
Dakota
performance.
transfer, might add there.
Ridiculous shots he put up.
He hit
some
22 against Michigan State. I couldn't
I know.
believe the
And
shots he hit.
He's got to play like that again, I think, for them to beat Virginia, which I don't know if he can.
You guys, let's recap Michigan State's season briefly. Michigan State had won the Big Ten regular season. They won the Big Ten championship. They were co-champs in the regular season. Won the Big Ten tournament championship. They went to the Final Four. They beat Duke. They beat Michigan 3 times. And we're all saying it's a disappointing season. And a lot of people are saying that reflects on Tom Izzo's legacy. Should it reflect on his legacy?
No, because Tom Izzo's won a national championship. He's been to 8 Final Fours. He's won the Big Ten on numerous occasions. He's won 6 Big Ten tournaments. So with this, and next year's team, if everybody comes back, Michigan State's can really be loaded. When you look at, of course, Cassius Winston back, a healthy Josh Langford back. You look at, of course, Nick Ward, Xavier Tillman, the interior.
Kyle Arns.
Kyle Arns coming back. I think that you really look at, and the key loss is going to be Matt McQuaid and Kenny Goings. Those are going to be 2 big losses there. But the recruiting class, you got goodness, we were talking about Maurice Rocket Watts coming in there. I think he's going to be an impact player. But I also like the development of Aaron. I think Aaron Henry being on that. He could be a starter next year. You look at Aaron Henry, Josh Langford, Cassius Winston.
What's his first name?
Gabe Brown coming off the bench. This team's loaded next year. I mean, they're going to be really loaded next year if everything comes into play next year.
And going back to his legacy, Izzo's, I mean, he's already in the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Right. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
I don't think it's tarnishing his legacy, but he does need a second national title. I think he badly wants a second national title, and he can retire a lot easier if he gets it. That being said, they never get the best players either.
No.
State.
No,
they
they
never
don't.
get the best players nationally, but they compete on a national level. It seems like every year.
This was a typical Tom Izzo type team.
And it might have been one of his best
Coaching jobs.
to get to this point. Unfortunately, they could not get the deal done, but they accomplished a lot with 1 point guard.
The
whole year.
Yeah, with virtually 1 point guard the whole year. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens next year at Michigan State. I think they're going to be a very good basketball team.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's going to be a team worth watching next year. Michigan will also be good as well. I expect both Michigan and Michigan State to be top 5 teams next year.
Oakland could win the Horizon League next year.
They could very well win the Horizon League next
They
year.
return everybody.
You got Michigan, Michigan State, Oakland, going to be Big Ten players next winter.
It was a good basketball season collegiately in Michigan.
Yes,
and
it was.
Next year could be even better.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
All right, so we'll be right back with Between Taorminas here on ONTV.
The North Oakland Household Hazardous Waste Program kicks off its 2019 season with an event at Oxford Middle School on Saturday, April 13th from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Volunteers will be on hand to collect cleaners, paint, bleach, batteries, antifreeze, motor oil, electronics, and more. The event is free for residents of Lake Orion. Collection events will also take place at Oakland University on June 22nd, Oakland County Service Center campus in Pontiac on July 20th, Oakland Community College Highland Lakes campus in Waterford on September 7th, and again at the Oakland County Service Center campus in Pontiac on October 12th. For a complete list of acceptable items and other information, visit nohaz.com or call their hotline at 248-858-5656.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas here on ONTV. I'm Anthony Taormina. Gentlemen, how are we doing?
About the same.
Hanging in there.
Okay, so let's talk about a topic that is Major League Baseball just started, that is dear and close to Ian's heart. The Tigers have won, the Detroit Tigers, with their expectations, and I use that
Very loosely.
They've won 2 series as of late. They beat the Yankees in New York, and then they swept the Kansas City Royals. And why are you worrying about a Royal Hustles Harder shirt? Please
Has
explain
nothing to
that.
do with Kansas City.
Are you sure?
It's some shop somewhere.
But
in
I
Dearborn.
mean,
I don't even
it's
know.
it shows the Cleveland Indian connection, but it also shows the Kansas City connection. What are you thinking, Ian?
It's a Red Wing shirt.
You know what? Ian, you proved my point. The Cleveland Indians, they're still the best team in that division. And
On paper, maybe.
the
Right
Tigers
now.
are basically a daycare center. Because you
loves
look
that
at
line.
that team, I mean, the youngsters are going to go in a slump. You
Yeah.
just watch.
Yeah.
And when the youngsters go in a slump, that team is going to be a virtual modified version of Celine Dion's Titanic song. And when you look at
What song is that? Can you sing that for us?
no.
Oh.
And when you look at the Tigers season, yes, they're hot right now.
Yeah.
But then they're gonna go down the earth. It's a 162 game season.
I
Because
get
I'm
it.
telling you right now, the Boston Red Sox, that record's gonna change. The
Hopefully
Yankees have
not.
started to turn things around a little bit.
But they're all hurt.
But I'm telling you right now, Ian Weatherspoon, the Cleveland Indians are the class of the American League Central Division. You know it, I know it, the whole world knows it, that the Tigers, they're going to be a daycare center going downhill after this.
Right now, the Indians are the class of the American League Central.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct.
Yeah.
However, their bullpen, not what it once was. Miller's gone. Shaw's gone, I think. Some other guy's gone. Their lineup, they got good infield, right?
Mm-hmm.
Outfield, they lost Michael Brantley. They got some young guys as well. I think the team to watch out for is the Twins,
Oh, I agree with you. Minnesota Twinkies.
unfortunately. But I can paint you a picture where the Tigers are competing. If
What?
Zimmerman stays healthy. We have not seen a healthy Zimmerman. If Cabrera stays healthy, makes the lineup look a 1,000 times different. Young pitching. The Tigers have young arms. And if those arms start to get here and replenish at the right time,
Are they-
you never know.
Without Michael Fulmer.
That's a tough loss. But we didn't have him for, he's been injured as well. He was out the second half of
And
last
this
year,
is all
basically.
without Casey Mize.
Casey Mize he's in high A right now. Could he be in the pros? Maybe.
Could be.
We'll see where we're at.
Hey guys, what do you guys think about Shane Greens and being impressive as a closer?
Full disclosure here, the Tigers haven't played anybody good yet. I mean, the Yankees, they're all hurt, The Royals are terrible.
Joe Jimenez is going to eventually be a closer.
One day, yeah.
Shane Green, it's more of a trade chip when you look at him.
Could be.
He's more of a trade chip. And I think Josh Hairston, I believe, is the second
Harrison,
baseman.
yeah.
He's another trade chip. So I'm looking at it from this perspective with the Tigers. This is basically a daycare center. And if Christian Stewart gets hot for this team and he does it all year long, who knows where this team's going to go. But until proven otherwise, the Cleveland Indians, Minnesota Twins are the Class AL Central right now.
I could also see where this division's better than what people think. The White Sox could be better. They got
Good.
some young talent.
They do.
The Royals, I can't make an
Royals are
argument for them.
basically right now in the cellar.
They're terrible. Their manager's terrible.
You think they fire Ned Yost?
Maybe, eventually. I don't know. He needs players, and
What's your take about Ron Gardenhire?
I like
told you.
Gardner.
I told you.
You did tell me.
I did tell you Ron Gardenhire is going to be manager of Detroit Tigers. Look what he's done that team.
Yeah? Well,
It's basically the Minnesota Twins East. That's what the Tigers are right now.
kind
The
of.
Minnesota Twins East.
Kind of.
Are you
but,
sure?
But I feel like Ron Gardenhire he's a Detroit kind of ball guy. like an old school, grind it out, a little humor, He's like Jimmy Leland. He's a Sparky Anderson type guy, and he's what a Detroit baseball manager should be.
Could you argue that, do you think the Tigers made a mistake when Leland left? They should have went after Gardenhire?
Well, he was still with the Twins
Right.
for 1 year. Should they have cut ties with Brad Ausmus? Probably. But then Gardenhire never went to Arizona. You know what I mean? He got a year to be a bench coach. I think when you take a step back, when you're in a different organization, it kind of helps you feel rejuvenated. Had Gardenhire got fired by the Twins and then immediately coached the Tigers, I don't know. It could have been a different scenario. But I think having the talent that Gardy would have had in 15 and 16 would have been interesting without Ausmus.
But I'm telling you, I think Al Vila needs to be fired.
Why?
Because if you want to put a competitive product on the field every night, you want to put a competitive field every night, and then when they start tanking, they're going to blame Al Vila. He needs to get fired.
They're not going to blame Ron Gardenhire, are they?
No, they ain't going to blame Gardenhire. It's Al Vila's fault because he was the one that put this rebuild into full motion.
But what was wrong with that? Why was the rebuild? Why would you not put it in full motion? What has he done to make you want to fire him? Aside from his first offseason, it was very bad.
Everything.
But he turned the farm system from a late 20s to a top 10 farm system in a couple of years. Imagine if they do stink this year, but Shane Green pitches well. Nick Castellanos, somebody needs an outfielder. What if these guys get traded and they get even more prospects? They have a top 5 pick in the draft.
You can't even go by that route when you look at top 5 prospects. You look at what if they don't pan out? I'm telling you, you got to fire some scouts over there.
If they don't pan out,
then that tells me something that team is not going to deliver.
Can
you're telling me right now.
Can we judge the prospects yet, though?
Yeah.
How? They're not even in the show yet, man.
If they're not hitting, if they're not pitching, and that, by the way, means time to ship them out.
We can't judge Al Vila yet.
I can. He's a loser.
Any final thoughts on the Tigers?
Disagree.
I disagree with your thoughts.
We'll be right back
Per
with the Sammy
usual.
Ian Show on ONTV.
Lake Orion families are invited to hop on over to the Orion Center for the 2019 Bunny Bop on Saturday, April 13th, beginning at 9:30 a.m. Pose for a photo with the Easter Bunny, enjoy refreshments, create crafts, and take part in a hunt for Easter eggs filled with candy and other surprises. Children will be divided by age groups and are encouraged to bring their own basket. As for the older kids in the family, Orion Township is holding its first ever flashlight egg hunt on Thursday, April 11th at 7:45 p.m. Kids aged 9 to 15 are invited to come out to Fort Pontiac at Camp Agawam to hunt for Easter eggs in the dark. There will be plenty of photo opportunities at the 2019 Bunny Bop and Flashlight Egg Hunt. For more information, call 248-391-0304 extension 3500 or visit orionparks.com.
You're the pro.
Welcome back to Sammy Ian Show on ONTV.
You're the pro.
You're wearing that Easter Bunny.
You're the one that looks good in the Easter Bunny. Anthony?
Thank you. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit of hodgepodge here. We're going to talk first. We're going to go into, we got the Masters this weekend.
Hey!
Are you excited about the Masters?
You bet you I am, because Tiger Woods is going to make a redeeming tour, but is he going to beat Rory McIlroy? Absolutely not. You know what? Rory wears the green jacket. Again.
What about Jason Spieth?
Jordan Spieth?
Or Jordan Spieth, sorry.
That's going to be a good matchup. I love Spieth. He's a Dallas guy. Stars guy, too. I mean, but I just think this is Rory's time to shine.
You don't think Tiger wins it?
No.
Why?
I'd love for Tiger to win
He
it.
struggled.
He struggled?
He's been struggling a little bit. Again.
I'd love for Tiger to win it. It'd be great.
It's too bad.
I'd love for Tiger to win it. It'd be nice.
You would like that?
Yes. I would. All right, so we got the Masters this weekend. Also, WrestleMania happened on yesterday.
Boy, all the big time events here, huh?
And the NCAA Women's Championship.
Yep, Baylor beat
Notre Dame
to win it all.
Yep.
After Notre Dame took out UConn, Baylor wins it all.
Yep.
In a doozy.
No surprise.
No surprise.
Nope. But Notre Dame's good. But WrestleMania, Shaq Brock Lesnar got beat
In 5 minutes.
in 5 minutes. That's what bothers me.
Why? Why? I mean, Brock Lesnar's contract was running out in WWE.
That's true.
So, I mean, there was a potential Brock Lesnar could be going back
USC.
to USC.
Not an NFL team?
No.
XFL team?
No.
But they got it right. The WWE got it right. Named at least out of 16 champions, 12 of them were new champions, including
Kofi Kingston won the WWE
Championship.
Championship.
Becky Lynch actually knocking off Ronda Rousey to
Yes.
win the women's title.
Yes, and Charlotte Flair. Yep, Ronda Rousey is wrestled in last night. Becky Lynch won the the women's championship.
I think they got it right this time.
I think some of the matches went a little bit too short.
Too short, yeah.
But I think because WrestleMania has become 7 hours now.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of going the typical 3-4 hour show that we're all accustomed to seeing. I think that they might want to, I understand you want to expand, but at the same time, you might want to lower it just so you can get more. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I mean,
And it's on a work day.
well, Sundays,
Yeah.
I mean, it gets
long.
fatigue, it gets long.
You guys think Gronk will be there next year?
No.
No? You don't see him going the WWE route?
He's been part of WrestleMania, but I don't see Gronk actually going into professional wrestling.
No.
But I could be wrong. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, we got a team to talk to Ian about. Go in the do-do-do. The Pistons.
The Pistons.
Are they done?
They sure look done.
They're done.
Do they look done to you?
Yes, they are.
They
And
look
they
done
gotta
to me.
clean some. They gotta clean some pieces. Trade Drummond.
Be nice.
Trade Reggie Jackson.
Be nice.
I mean, blow that team up.
Can they do it?
Can they do it?
Absolutely.
Can they do it? They can trade Andre?
Sure. The team that could definitely take him.
They won't get much back.
They don't get much back.
What about Reggie? They can't trade Reggie.
Yes, they can.
Maybe not till the deadline.
They'll trade him.
Not till the
trade him.
deadline. I don't see him
They'll
moving.
trade him. Don't worry, man. Don't worry.
So
don't
the
know about
Pistons
that.
made a fools of themselves on when they retired. Then they honored the 2004
That was
NBA championship
horrible.
team.
The intros was perfect. Everything was perfect. Except the Pistons just can't. They're like Tom Gores.
I like
They're
how
like
the
Tom
Pistons,
Gores's baby. They're like Tom Gores's. This all reflects on Tom Gores as a loser owner, and he might be worse than James Dolan as an owner. That explains a lot.
That says a lot.
Whoa.
Well, that's hard to
He
do.
may be worse than James Dolan.
Was
And
he-
James Dolan is terrible.
Was Tom Gorst even there last night?
No.
Okay.
But
That explains it all.
I like how the Pistons have really made Ben Wallace and Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton into legends.
Rasheed Wallace.
It's because
Tayshaun Prince.
all their players now suck. So they're like, hey, can we bring these guys that are good back and talk about them some more? That's why they keep honoring the team every time I turn around. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they had just
They
had
need
a
to go
thing.
back to the old school Pistons. That's what they need to do.
They need to let Tom Gores get out of the way and somebody who knows what they're doing make a team because
Should they move them out of Little Caesars Arena?
nah.
Yes. Yes.
To go where?
Back to the Palace.
To go to high school gym?
No, back to the Palace.
That's not happening, man.
That better happen.
That's not happening.
I know it's not happening.
Let's talk about hockey now. The Red Wings missed the playoffs for the second straight
In your
year.
face! You can't even beat the Sabres! The Sabres are terrible!
How many Stanley
And
Cup
by the way,
banners-
Steve Eiserman ain't coming to Detroit anymore. I heard a rumor he's going to be the next president of the New York Rangers.
That is true. That rumor is out there, Ian. What did you say about that?
I think that is silly. Why would he go to New York?
Because
There's
he can run a
mutual
franchise
interest.
there. He can run a franchise there.
He could run the franchise. He was the captain
He
of
ain't
for 30
gonna
years.
save this. He ain't gonna save this Detroit team. I know Ken Holland's gone at the end of the year, and everybody's thinking Steve Eisman's
he, though?
the next great savior. He ain't gonna do that. Ken Holland's staying in Detroit. Steve Eisman's gonna be the next president of the New York Rangers. You just watch.
You want to bet?
I'm not betting you,
Why?
cause every bet I've made has been terrible.
That's true.
Also, in wonderful Sammy news, the Dallas Stars made the playoffs,
Hey!
and so did the Colorado Avalanche. So now the Dallas Stars get Tim McGraw's "I Like It, I Love It," the national
That
anthem.
song is bad.
Love that song.
Joey Tyson better not be singing that song either. That's a terrible song.
Joey,
That's
like-
a terrible song. You know it. I know it. The whole world knows it. I'm telling you right now, the Stars are going to win that series in 6.
Want to bet?
I'm not betting you.
I
What
don't
seed
know
are the
about
Stars?
They are the Western Conference first number 1. They're in the Central bracket.
The Stars are number 1 seeded.
No.
What number seed?
Western. Well, remember, they do it based on divisions now.
Oh yeah.
Colorado.
I haven't been in the
getting-
playoffs in a while. I forgot about that.
Been there in 3 years. But I'm telling you, Dallas wins in 6 because of Ben Bishop.
Okay, so
Glad Dallas finally got a goal.
the Red Wings are tea timing.
And I'm booking your tea time for 10 a.m. Thursday.
10 a.m. Thursday.
That's your tea time.
Wish I could make it.
I think you will. You have time.
You better.
Any
talk
final
to
thoughts?
Todd Bertuzzi's nephew. What's his name? Tyler. He can
Any
make
final
it.
thoughts?
I hope Dallas loses, and I hope the Denver Avalanche lose.
Colorado Avalanche, you
Whatever.
imbecile. Any final thoughts, Sammy?
Well, I'm telling you, Stars wins in 6. Count it, picture it, book it. Bob Bridges, you know it. I know it. The whole world knows it. Dallas starts in 6 games.
What about any Pistons final thoughts?
Pistons are making the playoffs.
I wish Steve Yzerman
You
could
can
run
put-
the Pistons.
You can put this on Joey Tyson's views on the sideline. I don't care if he puts it on his podcast, but the Pistons are not making the playoffs. Repeat my lips. The Pistons are not making the playoffs. And if they do, they're getting swept by the Milwaukee Bucks.
Ian, any final thoughts on the Pistons?
Yeah, about what he said.
Okay. Well, that will do it for this episode of Between Taorminas. Have a great evening. See you soon, Lake Orion. Enjoy this nice, beautiful weather.